So I am glad that we all have been collected under one roof, and that is why it calls for a celebration of the like-minded people serving these children. And now to come to see, we all treat, but where do the finance come from? It is simple. You just have to tell Mrs. Aparna, yes, I'm going to do this, and she's up for it. She will immediately say, I am there backing up whatever you do. So welcome all of you.
I would now like to invite our distinguished dignitaries who are on stage for the lighting of the lamp, please. Exciting and most important part of today's program, which is a cultural program where all the kids who have gathered here are going to show their various talents and they're going to woo you with their various talents.
Congratulations to Sankara Netharalaya for all the wonderful work you've been doing, and all the children who have come and performed. Very, very, very nice, and thank you for such an enjoyable evening. Of course, we spoke about my father's association with Dr. Badrinath. The last time I came here was many years ago when Dr. Badrinath was very active here. In fact, my grandmother was a patient here, and it was due to some timely advice and intervention with Dr. Badrinath that they were able to salvage the situation. So this was 15, 20 years ago, and I'm very happy to see that the Sankara Netharalaya is going from strength to strength. And in fact, this is the first time that I'm coming to this building. I think it's a new addition, so it goes to show how long I've been there. How long I've not been here, but I'm not complaining because I think better to stay away from hospitals also. As was mentioned, I've born and brought up here, did all my schooling here. But after that, I had a good stint where I was traveling all over the world, and I had the opportunity to live in Western countries. About early 90s, I moved back here to Chennai. And I was always very proud of the medical facilities here in Chennai. And now that I'm a senior citizen, I think I can vouch for that. Some months ago, I had a hip surgery done at one of Preetha's hospitals. And earlier this afternoon, I thought I'll compliment her, congratulate her, but she seemed to know more about my procedure than I did. Thank you, Preetha. But again, congratulations to Sankara Netharalaya, Apollo Hospitals. I think this is what makes Chennai. We spoke about medical tourism, but also for people living here, I think we have excellent medical advice and facilities. And I feel, whether be it in India or world over, I think we have very committed doctors who, many of you are here in this room, that who are able to give proper advice, which you don't get anywhere in the world. Or no, as it's on par with whatever you get everywhere in the world. So this is one of the plus points of living in Chennai, and I'm very aware of it now. And congratulations to all the doctors for the good work you're doing, and please keep up the work. And again, thank you very much for inviting me to be a part of this very lively evening. My congratulations to good wishes and to all the participants. Thank you.
Thank you, sir, for your wonderful insights. Now I'd like to invite our distinguished guest of honor, Dr. Preetha Reddy, Executive Vice Chairman, Apollo Hospitals Enterprises Limited, to deliver a special address for our gathering.
Namaste, Dr. Surendran, all my friends in the gathering, the amazing children, their parents, and the doctors who look after them. I feel truly humbled and privileged to be here with all of you today. When I came, it was only a sense of nostalgia when I walked into the institution, because my father and Dr. Badrinath came back from abroad around the same time. And then there were contemporaries and friends in HM Hospital. In a way, I know they all have a sense of humor, but I have to tell you this, that we were like cheap labor. It was me and there were 4 of us, 4 sisters, And my dad would be working very long hours, and we would go in on Sunday. And I always wanted to be a doctor, so every time a patient came, and I would pretend, so I would wear a white coat, borrow dad's death, take their BP, but somebody else, Dr. Bama, did the reading right. It wasn't me who got the reading right. But I think it is a sense of nostalgia. And Dr. Badrinath, who was also, my dad wears a suit, and he was pretty good looking. He still is. But Dr. Badrinath would be the same. And, so there were these two really distinguished gentlemen in HM Hospital. And they would both work on Sundays. That tradition, that culture which they started and they inculcated and built institutions like that, a lot of it has trickled down. And when I see the dedication of the doctors who look after the children, their patients here, I think it's literally, he must be so happy seeing it. And I see that same sense of dedication among many clinicians in our country, especially in institutions like Sankara Netharalaya. And I guess we are a neighbor. So I'm hopeful that that culture, that sense of service to the public, service to the patients has passed on between both. I like the way, Doctor, you said that, we can almost have a bridge between two institutions. Because I know for a lot of work which we can't do and we can't deal with, we look up to this institution. And sometimes when we can support with the kind of work which happens literally next door at Apollo, I think they both talk to each other and they work with each other. So the relationship goes back a long time, goes back to our childhood days between both of them. And, most institutions are built because there's a crying need in society. Society needs an institution of stature to come back and serve and to give back. And both these doctors came back. They left lucrative practices abroad to come back and to serve our country and to make a difference and to make a mark in this part of the world. And while they did that, many others followed suit. So they raised the bar of the way healthcare is being delivered, not only in India, but also in the neighboring countries. And I think that's what these institutions stand for. And today, looking at these children perform, honestly, we can't even tell that they actually have a debilitating problem. They danced, they performed, they did whatever they had to. And a lot of them with literally half the resource which we have. They were managing with 50% of vision. And I think that's a lesson to mankind. That's a lesson to so many of us. Because a lot of us, we tend to wake up in the day and think of a zillion things which have gone wrong, which we don't have, and we have not, and we wish we had. And we crib and we grumble about so many things. I think it'll be a good lesson for all of us, and it'll be time well spent if we go back and we think of the performances which happened today. I think in half an hour, there was a lesson of a lifetime. So for all the doctors who look after these children and all of you who have put it together for us, thank you, because it was a huge learning for most of us who are there in the auditorium. I would only like to say thank you to all the clinicians who've really made a difference in their lives. And from that comes the fact that, we can do so much more for society. I do want to acknowledge the presence of Aparna and Stella here, because I think two individuals have said that they can give back to society and make a difference in people's world. And thank you both for doing that. Aparna, at this young age, doing something like that is, I think, a huge lesson for a lot of your generation and your age group, because we are really, we're the lucky ones. We are bestowed with so much. And for every bit which we get, we should give back a fraction. And that's probably why ours is such a beautiful country, because a lot of Indians are, unconsciously they give back. And I'm so proud to be an Indian. And the fact that there's such amazing work in clinical care, in research, in data science, in training, education. Everything is happening here at Sankara Netharalaya. So Dr. Surendran, in Dr. Badrinath's memory, and thanks to you and Dr. Lingam, who's sitting in the audience, may your tribe grow, and may God give all of you good health, the courage, the strength to go back to society and serve mankind the way you do, literally 24/7. Thank you for the invitation. I feel truly honored to be here with all of you today. Thank you.